What is up guys, my name is QuartX and in this video I will be explaining multiband sidechaining. Now this is a little loop that I've created. It's basically a drop, but it's a loop. And to show you the visual of the multiband sidechaining, here is the EQ. I've pulled up the Parametric EQ too, and this is what I'm using for the multiband sidechaining. So I'm going to play the drop and you're going to see what happens. Okay, so as you could see, the bands are ducking as well. Now what sidechaining essentially means is ducking a signal through another signal, and usually we duck the faders in a mixer channel. So this is your normal sidechaining where the sidechain bus knob will be ducking as the kick and snare hits. But in this case we are doing the fader ducking as well, and we are ducking the signals, the frequency bands in an equalizer. Now how have I done this? To explain the theory behind this, I have on the kick and snare channel I have a peak controller. Now a peak controller, you just open it up, there's no settings you need to change. It might be on the mute mode, just unmute it. And what a peak controller essentially does is that it will take in a signal and it will get a graph. So this is the peak controller for the kick. So as you can see, it gets a graph on it, and it's a positive signal because it's in the upper part. It's related to physics, I guess. But it essentially takes in a signal and it sends it to where I want to. So I've gone to the parametric EQ, and what you need to do is just open up a parametric EQ and go to the 3 bands section and just set them up wherever you want them. Just do that and reset them. And so I've gone on the last one, and I've gone to link to controller, and this is it's very lightly written kick. So you select peak control peak and you go to inverted and you cancel out the 1 and you type in 0.5, so you get that, and that is basically it. And I've done the same thing for the snare. On the snare I've put in a peak controller with no settings change. It's just unmuted. Again, the snare, so it just takes in a signal, and you go to the sidechain bus. Essentially, if you don't have the sidechain bus, you can put this on the master as well. It's just how my template is kind of organized. And then you go to wherever frequency the snare hits. It's usually around 300, 270, that region, and you go to link to controller. Then you go under the snare, you go to the peak, and then you go inverted and cancel out the 1 and 0.5, and you get that. Now I already have it, so that's why I'm cancelling them out, and I'm not really accepting and all that. So that essentially gets you this. And that is essentially it. But this might confuse you a little bit, because this is not your regular FL Studio mixer. I've arranged it a bit just to explain to you what happens. I'll probably make a tutorial on this entire template. I'll probably give it out when I reach 100 or 200 subscribers. But essentially every channel in the drums is routed to the drum bus, and the drum bus is routed to the mix bus. This is basically my pre-master, my pre-mix, and then everything goes to the master from the mix bus. And all the leads and all the basses have their own buses, or basically the groups. If you're from Ableton, you're used to calling them groups. I'm assuming. And all of the groups go to the sidechain bus, and the sidechain bus is where I do the ducking. So essentially every lead and every bass and every pad gets sidechained. And you can see that by this visual in FL Studio, where it just connects it to the sidechain bus. That's a very nice visual. You essentially just click it there to route it, and that is essentially how I do it. And that is why my EQ is on the sidechain bus. so that every lead and bass and pad gets sidechained by the multiband sidechaining. And it is basically a more advanced way of sidechaining. It's not mandatory, it just makes it better, it makes it more efficient, makes it more, makes your mix cleaner. And yeah, that's essentially it. So I mean, just for fun, I'm going to play this drop again because I really like the melody. And yeah, thank you for watching and have a good day.